You're very welcome to the Racing Post studios here in Dublin, where we are previewing the weekend's racing with What's the Word. And joining me again are Hayley O'Connor of Ladbrokes and Brendan Duke of the Racing Post. Let's turn to Saturday's racing, and we'll go across the pond first of all. There are 3 races in Wincanton. One has cut up, which we won't spend too much time, the Rising Star Novice Chase. It's a 3-runner race, but the betting actually is quite tight.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go for, it's called the Rising Star, and I think a Rising Star is definitely this Calandra. If you look at his last race at Sedgefield, he absolutely did a Pegasus over the last, and I think he's really certainly one-to-one run to watch, and a horse that wasn't declared, but definitely to keep an eye on for the rest of the season, where he ever turns up, is this Black Court, and I think he's got ahead of the others. He's got more runs under his belt, and he's improved every time, so...
Calandra won well at Sedgefield.
Calandra did win well at Sedgefield, and I'm not surprised that the betting is relatively close, because he's £9 to make up on hurdles marks, but looked a lot more straightforward.
Is Modus a monkey?
Bit of a monkey. Yeah. His jumping wasn't great in Bangor. This is a serious test of jumping for a novice this Wincanton.
As I say, it takes one to know one.
And Calandra looked a natural, as Hayley said, at Sedgefield,
okay.
and I think he could ultimately go off fab, in fact.
So we have 2 competitive handicaps. The Unibet Elite Hurdle at 3 o'clock. What's the betting, first of all?
I think we're around 5-2 Lochderg Spirit. He's had 217 days off the track, and he's a horse. He's had lots of breaks in his career, so I definitely think he's worth taking on. Level in the betting then is Zubair, he's a course winner actually, but he's only 2 out of 10 over hurdles. And then of course you've got Charbel, also 4-1, who's my
who
pick.
had been chasing.
Who had been
Kim
chasing,
Bailey's horse.
yeah.
And, you know, he was putting it up to Altior.
Yeah, he was second to Altior, and you know, he was twice Grade 1 placed over fences, and over hurdles he ran quite close to the likes of Don't Touch It in Punchestown.
What price is Charbel?
About 4-1, I think. Okay. Much better value.
So a bet to nothing and an each way bet. Lochderg Spirit was found out at Aintree over 2.5 miles. Wincanton is not an uphill and down track. You know, it'll suit him 2 miles there.
It will suit him. I think it'll suit Charbel as well, though. Get out on the pace, jump away over hurdles. I think he'd be fine back over hurdles. I thought it was a tricky race now, in fairness, as you said, Ivan. I thought just keep it simple, back the best horse in the race, which I think is Charbel.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, on a retrieval mission, coming back from novice chasing. Let's go to the lottery that is the Badger Ales Trophy, 3-mile chase. It's a listed chase. What's favourite?
Present Man is favourite, closely followed at 6-1, closely followed at 7-1 by Southfield Theatre, which gives me, I find that quite head scratching. You know, Present Man need a nice run over hurdles. He also has that important course form. He's won twice at Wincanton. Now his jumping can get a little bit sloppy when he's tired. But why you'd back Southfield Theatre at a point higher when he hasn't won since 2015? To me, I can't really understand that. So Present Man, I'm going to side at the favourite. I'm not going to get too involved in this race. Okay.
Nichols is mob-handed. The one thing in Present Man's favour is Bryony Frost claims the £5. Yeah. So, you know, probably has a competitive chance. What in a difficult race, what do you think, Brendan?
A difficult race, again, Ivan, you will probably notice the trend there. I have a weakness for top weights and handicaps. I like to back the best horse. And in fairness, there is no horse in this race, bar Carlos Destre, who could have finished second in the Hennessy last year, on debut last season, so should be all right first time up this season. I thought 14-1 looked a big price.
Which horse again?
Carlos Destre.
Okay, loads of weight. Does he? What weight is he on?
I think it's 11-10. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
But second in the Hennessy last year is a massive run behind Native River.
Okay, well, if he started now, he won't beat Pilgrim's Bay. This thing is very well weighted at 10 stone now, 9. He won the Bet Bright last year. He's a good handicapper. If Neil Mulholland has him right, I think Pilgrim's Bay has a cracking chance in that race. What price is Pilgrim's Bay? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay, it's a decent price. It was certainly 16-1 earlier in the week for that race. Which brings us on to the Irish racing. A good card at Naas. Let's start with the graded race, the Poplar Square Chase. Your thoughts?
Well, it's a 3-horse race, really, isn't it? You know, this it's a 13-8 Ordinary World, 7-4 Bulldog, and 9-4 American Tom. But for me, it's Ordinary World all the way for Henry de Bromhead's Charge. Third in the Oracle, second to Great Field, who I really fancy for Cheltenham this year, and second to Min. So he's kept absolutely the best company.
Of company.
Yeah, and Bulldog, he was behind Ordinary World at Punchestown, albeit he does have the benefit of a run. And American Tom, I haven't latched on to him at all.
Yeah, American Tom, I went to Naas and he ran like a hairy dog and fell. Really disappointing, short price favourite. So he's on a retrieval mission. Would that make it a 2-horse race then?
Well, not for me. I fancy American Tom.
Do you?
Well, on the back of his Punchestown romp last year, I have a weakness for the horse. I backed him for the JLT. So obviously, both of us had a tough time in Naas that day. There was something wrong with him.
He was clearly too bad to be true.
He's not the most physically robust horse, but on his day, and I think the day to catch him might be fresh.
Okay.
And tomorrow, and he definitely has. I think he's definitely the best horse in this race on his day.
But Ordinary World gets £9 here.
Yeah, well, I think he can still suck that up. But I think this horse on his day is an outrageous talent. But I just hope tomorrow's
and £9 from Bulldog. Bulldog ran last weekend, did he? At Down Royal, he was third. But surely that might get him ready for this.
Yeah, I mean that could get him ready for this. And actually, there was a lovely performance from Disco, but still, I think class is class, and I think Ordinary World, this will be his year.
Okay, let's move on to our second featured race at Naas, which is the Grade 3. It's sort of second season hurdlers coming at this, the Fishery Lane hurdle, over 2 miles. The favourite is Expatriate, who had respectable runs. What was it, placed at and was for sale at Cheltenham and wasn't sold. Had a pipe opener in a flat handicap at the tail end of the season. What's not to like about Expatriate, Brendan?
No, well, he definitely sets the standard, and he ran well over hurdles in the Stole as well. He is a smart horse. It's not an insurmountable standard, though, is it? And I just thought this Mary DeVee, she's a big rig of a mare. She definitely has scope to grow into her frame, and she can definitely improve on her jumping. I'd say they've been working on that with her. I thought Mary DeVee could bridge the gap, and at the prices, she was the one I liked.
Gets a pull of £7.
Yeah.
Is that weight or sex or what is it?
Mare's allowance is right.
Okay, okay. I'm not in favour of giving fillies any allowance. What do you fancy?
I fancy Mary DeVee as well. Yeah, she had that little flop in O'Teal last year, but she was like very impressive. She was third in a Grade 1 to Babaum at Punchestown, and there's certainly more to come for her. The first time actually she was on the racetrack, I remember seeing her there for Willie. She was seriously well back that day.
Okay. Anything else catch your eye? What caught my eye was Red Jack in the first.
Yes.
Really, I saw him win first time out at Naas in a bumper, and I know Noel Meade thinks a lot of the horse. JP bought into the horse. For me, if he jumps, he wins. Is anything catch your eye for Saturday other than what we discussed?
There were a couple in Doncaster, if you're interested.
Yeah, shoot.
Okay, the 1 o'clock Easy Victory, regally bred Dubawi filly of Godolphins, who hasn't run this season. And there'd be no need to bring her back unless they thought she could make hay. And if she can't win off 87, I'd say they'd be very disappointed. And in the November handicap, the dying embers of the flat season, Ivan, Dance the Dream.
That's the one I fancy as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about Dance the Dream.
Love the ground, love the course.
Who trains it?
She is trained by Mark Stragoni.
Yeah.
She looks to have a bad draw. I think she's priced up on her draw, but it's not as bad as it looks because there's no pace.
Yeah, it's a mile and a half race anyway. The draw wouldn't be that critical, that long straight at Doncaster. You like Dance to Victory?
Yeah, that was one of my, I was talking about Dance to Victory the other day, or Dance the Dream.
Dance the Dream.
Yeah, just really like her, and I'll be like watching with bated breath. I'm going to have
what sort of price are we talking?
I can't
double
remember.
digit or
yeah, definitely double
10
digits.
to 1.
Yeah.
10 to 1. All right. These people are in cracking form. Get stuck into Dance to Dream in the November handicap. We'll be back with another Sunday preview shortly. Welcome to the Racing Post studios here in Dublin. We are previewing the Sunday racing. What's the word? And joining me is, as always, Hayley O'Connor of Ladbrokes and Brendan Duke of the Racing Post. We're going to talk first of all about one of the superstars, won at Aintree, won the Sun Alliance, huge big horse, very exciting, Might Bite. But he's by Scorpion, Is he quirky? He nearly threw away a couple of races, fell at Kempton. Is he a good thing on the big race? It's the Future Stars Intermediate Chase.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that Top Notch doesn't run in this race because he was the only thing on ratings that came anyway close. He's like rated 162 or something. But Mike Bite, like, it was like hilarious. Like, God help his backers in Cheltenham, what he did. When I did a Cheltenham preview, Davy Russell said Mike Bite has no chance. He's by Scorpion.
Yeah.
He'll see the hill, he'll jump, he'll quirk, and then he'll vomit, is what his actual words were. But he proved everybody wrong that even, like, you saw how easily when he veered right, he just saw the other horse and he's like,
picked up again, yeah.
Now, if you were smart, you would obviously try and do an Andrew Lynch on it and like, keep any horse as far away as you can from eyeballing him if you're opposing him. But listen, he's... You know, for the Gold Cup, he's like a really tasty bet. And, you know, with all the kind of other horses running so disappointingly at the top end of the market, maybe now's the time to back Mike Bite for the...
Okay, his main target, I think, will be the King George. He's avoided the Betfair, the million bonus and so on. Is he a good thing?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no, I must say I tip my cap to Paul Nicholls for providing some genuine opposition.
In Frodon?
Well, and in as to me. And
yeah.
La Belle des Obeaux, a 150 horse as well. I mean,
so there's only 4 runners in the race.
I'm surprised that there's more than one runner in the race, really, because if I was looking at this, I mean, these horses are going to be mere footnotes in the story of Mike Bite's glorious 2017, 2018 campaign.
Is he a safe jumper? Like, I'll never forget, he was clear of Kempton and just went straight down.
Well, he
didn't take off.
He took off too soon. He was asked. He was asked to take off at the wings of the fence.
You're blaming the jockey.
Well, he asked him for a huge stride.
Okay.
He was very confident. But his jumping has just got progressively better throughout his career. In Doncaster, he's a bit, and obviously he fell, as he said. Then
you don't think he's a head case?
No.
By Scorpion?
No. He's just taken a bit of time. He's needed counselling. Okay. But he's come out of the counselling now a better man, a more rounded horse, and they will not...
Do you think this is the time to get onto him for the King George?
Just back him for everything. Any race he's in, just back him for it, because he's going to win everything this year.
Okay, right. Well, you heard it first here at the Racing Post. Let's turn to Navan. I'm hoping to go there. Let's move on to the Grade 2 Liz Mullen Hurdle, 25 grand pot. Apple's Jade, what price?
5 to 2 on.
Right. I remember she went to Down Royal last year, and then both her first 2 runs she was beaten on and was a bit disappointing, and went on to be a super spring horse, winning at the end in the festival.
And Gordon was really scratching his head after those 2 runs. He did not know what was going on. You know, and after coming from Willie's, and Willie having talked her up so much, but he's definitely got to the bottom of her now.
So what's your feeling? 4 against Apple's Jade?
Oh, I don't back odds on shots, and I'm going to get seriously stuck into Apple's Jade because I just think...
To lay?
No, I'm going to back her. I'm going to back her, yeah, because I mean, Jerry's girl, in all fairness, she's absolutely brilliant. You'd love to own a horse like that, but she has no chance.
Why not?
Well, I think even if you go back to like the Knight Frank in 2015 when they opposed, you know, she did come in within a head of Apple's Jade, but I just think Apple's Jade is all class and it's going to improve at age. And in fact, if you were going to back anything, maybe Monksland,
who's fit.
Who's fit? I think he came second in this race previously.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Is there any chink in Apple's Jade?
Well, it's just the comeback record, isn't it? I mean, she got beaten on her stable debut. Then for Willie, then she obviously went on after that. Then she got beaten first time out last year. Then she had a break after the Hatton's Grace. She got beaten in Punchestown before she then went on to win in Cheltenham. So she does seem to come on for.
Do you rate Jer's girl? Like, her juvenile form was very good. She lost her way a bit last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was keeping good company.
Okay.
Her comeback was slightly disappointing. That was a strange race in Tipperary with Jeski. But I would be more worried about Monksland, as you say, with the fitness edge. I just thought at the prices, Monksland with the fitness edge might be a bet.
All right, let's move on to the other Grade 2, the Fortria Chase, a steeplechase, 2 miles. They won't be hanging around in this. I thought it was a disappointing field, I have to say. You know, you look to this race to get a cracking 2-miler that could go on for the, you know, Grade 1 races. I'm struggling to find one here. What's the favourite?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're like this race had like the likes of Big Zeb and Moscow Flyer and Fleming Star previously, and I don't think we've got anything like that. But Aslier d'Irlande is about 5 to 4. You know, an ace won an ace by 10 lengths, I think, back at February. Didn't fire at Aintree after. He sets the standard. But for me, I just think the game changer. He's had a good summer. He had wins at Listowel and Ballinrobe, and I think that good summer stroke autumn made up for quite a bad season last year. So he's a horse with an upward trajectory at the moment.
I'm looking at a lot of unreliable candidates here, Brendan. What takes your eye?
That's fair enough, actually. Well, I mean, even the favourite, Alicia Dillon, can throw in the odd bad run or what have you, but based on...
It's a season debut?
Yes, but based on that nice run, he is a very strong jumper and galloper. I think he might just take these horses out of their comfort zone, which, as you said, they're not particularly good horses. So.
Just to round off, Navan, one horse that catches the eye, really running in Grade 1 hurdles at the top end, Footpad, makes his debut as a beginner's chase. I'd say it'd be fairly short. I saw tissues of sort of 1 to 2. That or any other horse catch your eye on the Navan card?
I wouldn't disagree with you for Footpad, and he certainly has the physical scope.
4 against him?
Oh, 4. He certainly has the physical scope for it. He's a big, strong horse. So even as a 4-year-old, he was a big, strong horse. So yeah, I could.
Yeah, interesting profile. Like, I think was this another Andy Oliver graduate? I think he could have been originally.
Yeah.
So to go from the flat and then to do what he did last year over hurdles, and now.
Like Willie kept him in all the Grade 1 races, even though he had the Faheens and any powers. He just kept running Footpad. 2.5 mile, you know, the distance will suit. Again, season debut. Anything else for Sunday you like?
No. That was
okay. They'll be drowning their sorrows or celebrating after Ireland beat Denmark in Copenhagen. My thanks to Hayley O'Connor and Brendan Duke. Happy punting for the weekend.